All right, so it's time for us to talk about your lifestyle, especially, yes.
Not ours?
Your lifestyle.
Okay.
I'm not talking about mine.
All right.
You know, I'm just cool. You know, I'm fine.
He's got hypertension. From this younger he's making. He's got hypertension.
No, it's just high blood pressure. It's not hypertension yet.
What's the difference?
No, hypertension is the senior brother of high blood pressure.
Well, if it makes you happy, believe it. It's all about what's in your head.
Yeah, please, please. And it is under check, under control, please. Thank you very much.
I'm cool.
Yeah,
I'm
you know
cool.
what I'm saying? So, yeah, even though the lifestyle is checking. Anyway, one of the seasons of life that makes this even more dire for people is the holiday season. You know, brings a lot of joy.
You know, in America, Thursday was Thanksgiving. Yesterday, Black Friday. So the holiday season has started. It's in full swing already over there.
Okay. But that holiday in full swing can also wreak a lot of havoc on your health. Especially your heart health. So one of the things that we've also come to realize that research shows that cholesterol levels spike the most during this time of the year.
Oh dear.
This time of the year.
What do we eat that makes that happen? Anyway,
we'll get to that.
We'll be asking the guests.
So let's just go into it. The conversation with Oko, our guest this morning, a nutritionist and dietitian. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ayo, for having me. And thank you, Alero.
So we understand, by the way, don't worry, you'll soon see the network soon. Research, you see the both of them.
We were on Maggie Kitchen together.
Okay, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
She was my executive producer.
Good. She didn't execute you. I think that's just okay. So, madam, from your studies, you've done this for quite a number of years. From your studies, observations, experiences, what is it that makes us vulnerable this time of the year, especially when it comes to eating?
Well, I mean, look, Christmas is a time of sharing, let's face it.
So is Ileya.
So you have spreads, you know, jollof rice, ayamashe stew. What have you, you know...
Ayamashe?
Yes, you know, bleached palm oil. You have many dishes spread out. And of course, if you're traveling to the east, of course, pounded yam, ofe nsala, afia efere, afang, what have you. And so we sometimes go a bit overboard.
Because it's in front of us.
Because it's there. And we think we have to eat it. And therefore, you know, we just... you know, just throw caution to the wind and eat what we really don't need.
We will just put the caution in the pocket and then after some time.
Stuff that we don't even normally eat.
That's where my next question is, because it's a time that you want to try new things. You what's the word now? You go on tours, and I remember a colleague of mine. We went for this end of year event for one of these shipping companies many years ago. And so they put all kinds of things we'd never even seen before, much less tasted. And I had a culture all my life of sticking with what I know and experimenting very, very cautiously.
Yes.
My colleagues, okay, is this sweet? The other is this sweet? Just kept trying everything out. Needless to say, by Sunday evening, well, it was a Saturday night, it's a Sunday afternoon, they were already visiting the big boys' room. And Monday, I don't think they were able to come to work. So,
well,
guide us, you know, because, I mean, always eating, you know, there's that thing that people say about, can't you just be eating only rice all the time? You want to try new things occasionally. What's the guide? Because we have to try these new things.
You know, it's amazing what urbanization has done to us. We all live in the city, and we're all looking for convenience, so to speak. So the carbs obviously are convenient. The pastas, the rice, you know, those ones don't take time. Of course, if you want to venture into pounded yam, you know what that entails.
It's even shorter. The time has been reduced.
Well, not pounded.
Yes.
Of course, yes, you can use your food processor to pound yam. I get that. But the point is that we tend to, around those times, look at it, office parties are happening around that end of the year. You're having food festivals happening around, you know, this time of the year. Then, of course, you now crown that with what happens on Christmas Day and New Year's Eve, you know, and all of that. Carbs incorporated. A lot of meats as well. Are there. Of course, we're frying a lot. The chin-chins and the cakes are going, you know, jamming and all of that. Now, the point is to be conscious. And it's not just around the Christmas, because, you know, this season accumulates all the bad habits. You know, you have...
Including the ones that you have been chinning down.
Yes. So it's not...
release them.
If the problem were just the Christmas and festive season, yes, maybe 2 weeks into January, you would have burnt everything. But it's been an accumulation of bad habits, you know, in quotes, and the fact that we're not just conscious about the kind of lifestyle we should be leading. Like I said, with urbanization, if you live in Lagos, we all live in Lagos, it's added problem. You are seated all of the time, certainly for adults, either in your car, or when you get, or in the office, or in the shop. We are most of the time seated. At home, even when you want to take a walk. You're thinking security, you're thinking this, unless you go to the gym. And if you walk in Lagos, you live on the mainland, you walk on the island, I don't know how much time you have to go to the gym. So all of these are accumulating. Now, guess what? You go home and Madame has prepared nice edikang ikong soup with pounded yam.
A table spread before you.
Oh, God.
In the presence of your family.
This is something like 8 p.m. if you manage to have beat traffic to get home at 8 p.m. And you eat that and you repeat it, you know, that's where the problem starts. So by the time you get to Christmas, the damage is done. I mean, look at it, for most people, by the time you finish eating that pounded yam and edikang ikong,
it's time to sleep.
Your television remote is in one hand.
And you are nodding.
After some time, the TV starts to look at you.
Yes.
That's what happens. So that's, you know, that you have accumulated, and then you now come to the festive season, it can only get worse. So what should we be eating? I think it's just that consciousness.
We'll come to what we need to do.
Yes.
Help us also, because, I mean, you've spoken to the conditions that will build up to, and we don't even know. What are the implications of those bad habits that you talked about?
Yes.
What are the health implications? I ask that question for this particular reason. We've had an exercise, a fitness person here once. We've had a heart health doctor. We've had skin care dermatologist here. We had a dental care person here. And all of them, every single one of them tells us to pay attention to what we eat. Absolutely. So what are the things that we create, the problems we create simply by bad habits? You know, what I see is that we have a lot of information and we have access to those information. And that's talking about food and nutrition. Possibly my parents didn't have, but you and I have our phones and we have the information there. But are we really looking at what we have and implementing them? Sometimes it's about total lack of understanding of nutrition and the impact it plays on our body in terms of preventive health. Because these things you spoke about, your teeth, your skin, your heart, and kidney, everything, a lot revolves around food and what we eat. But again, like I said, it is about making that conscious effort. Yes, we're told from primary school, secondary school, we talked about balanced diet. I mean, really, if we just stick to that simple balanced diet
I think our lives would not
The pocket
remain.
is not even balanced for now. The bank account is not even balanced right now.
So you can't afford to balance your
No, you can't. You can. You know, look, I know the problem. Of course, with the wallets getting very thin.
Exactly.
People are filling up on carbohydrates. Carbohydrates fill you fast.
Yeah.
When you then go towards vegetables and fruit, which is what nutrition will tell you to do.
You have to eat like 5 times a day.
Yes. Meats, the proteins as well fill you up, but the proteins are not cheaper. But the point is, if you then think of the reverse, which is the bill in the hospital, trust me, you will adjust your pocket.
For 1 kilo of meat now is about 3,000 naira. One small fish is about 2,000 naira.
Yeah.
So if I want to eat just for the sake of filling my stomach,
it's cheaper.
I'll probably just only rice. I do many rice 200 naira.
I know, but you see,
a bunch of vegetables is now 1,000 naira.
Yeah.
A bunch.
But you know,
of F4.
And you only eat it maybe once or twice.
F4.
But you know, we can work around some of those things. I have a home garden, for instance. We don't have to buy everything. I know a lot of us live in a concrete world where we don't even have the space. But trust me, you can if you want to. Whatever happened to your planters? You can pot a lot of vegetables. There are many vegetables I don't buy anymore because I've planted around the house. So you don't have to buy everything. Now, coming to animal protein, you know this shower fish? If you blend it, I know that Nigerians, we like to chew.
Yes.
We must chew something.
Yes.
I know. But
in fact, that's the status.
But how much is shower now? Shower used to be 100 naira each.
I know.
No, wait, before she even goes, you know, I mean, the meat. I mean, can't believe she's just giving me 2 small meat.
Yeah, they will be like Maggie Cube.
But you know, as adults, you don't need that meat. You don't need that much. It's actually the children in the family that need the meat. But guess what? Madam will say, because it's Oga that brought money for cooking, I must put, you know, all of them should be, or the obstructions.
Yes.
The obstructions should, no. You don't actually need that much protein as you grow older.
As you said, it is filling.
We
and
know.
Then, you know, you mothers, you denied us when we were younger.
So when you
now that you are master, that you are daddy, you will eat it.
You want to demonstrate that in the interest of peace?
The lap of the chicken is for you.
You know,
the gizzard is for you.
How can madam give the father of the house the head of chicken or the legs?
Okay, you know, we're talking carbohydrates. The proteins are for the kids. For adults, me and you, for that swallow, this is about the size you need per meal.
Is that the size of the meat you're talking about?
No, your swallow.
Your pounded
because
yam.
Your pounded yam. That's all you need. I'm seeing the shock on your face, but that's all you need per meal. The rest, vegetables, your vegetable soup, your dikankong soup. Guess what? Because like I said, most of the time we are sedentary.
Director, please do me a favor. Can you zoom in on her hand?
That's all you need.
So that's the size of amala.
The swallow, yes, that's
or eba, or pounded yam.
Yes, this is about what you need.
This meal,
yes.
Your body doesn't need more than that.
The body doesn't need, because that's not the only meal you'll have. You're going to have your breakfast, you're going to have lunch or dinner.
Hey, I'm smelling trouble in some households today.
I know.
Like, so I'm just trying to play a picture in my head. So, madam is watching this program now.
They say this is all you need.
So, and daddy is not at home.
Daddy of this size.
So, daddy, so now serve someone that yesterday afternoon or yesterday that you served him gaciously.
Yes.
You know, gaciously. And now you now bring home
tennis ball size.
Yes.
The man will ask you, say, come, the money not due.
No, you know what? Look, I mean, of course, maybe when you're starting off from the size of my head to this.
No, just say that
gradually.
Of FIFA football club.
Yes. Gradually. You know, you now come to maybe 3 of these, then 2. Trust me, after some time, your stomach adjusts.
Yes.
Your
My
stomach
my
does
own stomach
adjust.
has even adjusted.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I want to eat and they serve me food, the mere size of the food intimidates me.
Absolutely.
So, and everybody in the house knows I'm always talking about vegetable. The only problem is that the obstructions are.
The obstructions.
Yeah, usually very obstruct.
Yes.
The animals.
But you know,
no, the obstruction, please.
You
She
know,
doesn't like the word animal.
even the obstruction, you have to be careful there. You know, as you get older, of course, you're told, you know, lay off red meats because of the potential for cholesterol link and all of that. So you're told to go towards fish and the rest of them. Even when you eat beef, you know, you're advised if you see those, visible fat, trim it off. Fat is tasty. Don't get me wrong. Fat is what makes food tasty.
Can you eat suya without fat?
Can you imagine?
But you have to trim a lot of those fat. Not that there won't be fat.
Some people talk about what you call lean meat.
Yes. Which means that you hardly have fat in it.
Please define lean meat.
Lean meat is meat that a lot of the fat has been taken out. And that's why things like chicken breast is recommended for those people who don't want to eat meats that contain that much fat.
How about the drumsticks?
The drumstick, remove the
skin.
But again, this is...
As you said, that is the sweet tea.
The fatty bit is the tasty bit. But nobody says don't eat it at all. All we're saying is that... Moderation.
Okay.
Moderation. Okay. And if the moderation is the lifestyle, then there's hardly any food that should be off limit.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I take ice cream from time to time. I take chocolate from time to time. Puff-puff.
I take chocolate all the time.
But puff-puff, I will not go to Owambe party today and jump from one Owambe party to the other eating puff-puff at each party. No. That's where the problem comes from.
Puff-puff is tasty.
I know.
No, it depends on who is making it. Okay, so now, you essentially what you're saying to us now is, if you are already used to this moderation,
yes,
it's a natural habit that you carry it into the holidays.
It becomes a lifestyle.
Yes.
Now, one other issue that may not be on our list today is there are those who may have allergies, but they don't know that they have the allergies.
True.
Now they've been cautious about the things that they eat until now. So there are two categories of these people. One, a set of people that know that they have allergies, and mommy or daddy or the children at home have been careful to help the parents manage excuse me, the allergies. Now they have to travel home. Now, because of this allergy, they can't eat certain things. Now, when you now get home, you say you don't want to eat this thing because you have allergy. And you tell them that you don't want to eat, they say,
Tell grandma.
We know. So because
your mommy has told
we
you
don't have money, they are not reckoning with us again. How does the person navigate?
Usually, if for instance, you're allergic to seafood.
I'm not, thankfully.
And you're delicious. From my part of the country, and fisherman soup has been offered.
Jesus.
You simply don't, because you know how much this would cost.
Yeah.
And then you can ask grandma, Mama, any other soup day? Do you have any other soup at home? Because when I eat fish or shrimp,
my body.
They understand. Once you say, Mama, any other soup day, she will understand that.
She should understand.
She should understand that it's just that soup.
That this particular soup.
It's as simple as that.
Okay.
I mean, it's just understanding how your body relates or reacts to food. It's the same thing when you go to a fast food restaurant. You should know what to pick. If you go to a buffet, you should know what to pick. I mean, but I mean, sometimes when I see Nigerian plates in buffets, it's a sight. Because it looks as if of the 20 things, it must be on my plate. So you'll be seeing rice and eba and egusi. The spaghetti is dripping from the side of the plate.
No, because as she was talking,
You can see the picture.
the picture was in my mind, and I was saying, "Oh my God!"
And sometimes
wants to kill us
sometimes
morning.
dessert is on that same plate. For those that don't even know how buffets work, they don't know you can go twice. So they will go from the bread, pepper soup, spaghetti, eba, edikaikong, egusi soup. Everything is on one plate. And like I said, you know, the spaghetti then drips down the edge, you know. But look, the food is there. You
don't have to eat everything.
You can have 2, 3 helpings, but pick what is good for you.
Okay. How do people know their allergies?
It's not something you can know until you've tried it.
Oh, wow.
And for some, I mean, I have a niece, she still does not know what the trigger is. Sometimes it's stress. Sometimes it's not food.
Yeah.
There are different things, you know, that causes mouth swelling, eye swelling, and all of that. Sneezing, and yes. Sometimes it's dust, you know. Yeah. But again, the doctors are in a better position, you know. But for food, you only have to have tried it once. Milk is always a culprit. Nuts, like groundnut, is always a culprit. Shrimp is always another culprit. When you're talking allergy, most of us are allergic to beans, by the way.
Oh, I'm not. That's why I'm so tall.
That's people have flatulence with beans. It's some form of allergy.
I have a password to that one. Once I've had my beans, I take tea without milk.
Okay, good for you.
Now,
good for you.
Let's talk about fruits.
Yes.
I have noticed that more and more children don't want to take fruits. When I was younger,
vegetables
it was vegetables. You didn't even come near many of us with vegetables, because we're not even going to listen to you. No matter how it was cooked, no matter what you said, I'm not touching this black soup, this thing that has all these black leaves, no thank you. But now, I don't know if children are eating vegetables, but I know that they're not eating fruits.
Well, with fruits, I mean, of course, it's best to eat fruits whole. I see a lot of juicing. I see a lot of smoothing. And I said the best way to eat fruit is to eat it whole.
With the fibers and
With the fiber and everything. You know, by the time you're juicing, you've removed some goodness from the fruit.
But sometimes when you juice, you juice whole.
You blend.
Yes, you know, but that's a smoothie.
Some of the chaff is coming off.
Yes.
But some of it is also in your drink.
Some. But the ideal thing is to eat the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Now, for children that don't like fruit, of course, we might just need to, you know, come back to the juicing bit. But if we blend, say, for instance, mango, blend the pulp whole and put it in popsicle, put this in there, make it look like ice cream, they'll consume it. It's about understanding children because they like to play a bit. So you give those foods they're not interested in, you make sure that there's something to play around. And that's
make it exciting
they'll
for them.
consume it.
Okay. Now, as people go towards the Yuletide season, planning their meals and holidays and all, I know we've spoken quite a lot, but what are those things you would recommend that people begin now to watch out for as they prepare for the holidays?
I think, first of all, by now, or certainly the first week of December, you should know what you're going to be cooking if you're the one entertaining.
Okay.
But I know many people have since dropped off that bit of entertainment from their schedule. They're just waiting to
go somewhere.
To
be entertained.
To be entertained. So if you're the one entertaining, I hear tomato is climbing up, I hear pepper is climbing up, I hear onion is climbing
untouchable.
up. So if you can buy, of course, if you're going to need to make some jollof rice, boil your tomato, pepper, and that, blend and freeze now. Any other thing, really, that can keep, that you should buy. But the important thing is, what are you preparing? What are you cooking? Who are you entertaining for? You know, who will be coming? You know, if it's family, of course, you know people. So you're certain about what you're going to cook. And then start now by, one thing you should not try is to be making brand new dishes on Christmas Day. So if you need to practice
now
that recipe, you like the recipe so much, practice it now. Christmas Eve is not the time to do catering practical. No, it's not.
So you don't put everything in the dustbin.
Exactly. Exactly. So practice that dish now. But I think we can move away from jollof rice, fried rice, and do some other things. There are many, many Nigerian dishes out there.
Yes, I know about that, your book. We're going to talk about it the next time. Because I remember that when I was growing up, we only had rice 3 times in the year.
Yeah.
Christmas Day, New Year's Day, and Easter.
Yeah.
Easter Sunday.
The only other time we eat it is when they serve us during the Ileya. Other than that, it's just those 3 days. I don't remember what we ate.
Rice is now a staple in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Unlike you know.
That's why we're grateful that Immortal is coming on stream next month.
Okay. Oh, great. Anyway, we'll talk about that some other time. But so, how do we stave off for those who are vulnerable to weight gain? How do they stave off?
It's about calorie deficit. That's what you talk about with putting on weight or putting off weight. I know some people already are on a diet now, hoping to drop 2-3 kilos because they know they are going to add 2-3 kilos during Christmas. And hopefully, first 2 weeks of January, they'll drop off what they've added for Christmas. You know, it's the last thing you want to do to your body is this yo-yo business with weights. So what to say is that you know that if you eat a big bowl of rice and you don't move, it will stay. So what we're talking about is portion control. Have as many variety as you want because that's what Christmas is about. But control your portion. Control your portion. You know, it's as simple as that. Don't deny yourself because food is functional, but it's pleasurable as well. Yes. So I don't want to be walking around and checking that jollof rice. How many calories? No. Okay. That won't be life.
Is there a way to cut down the calories by maybe adding more vegetable into?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I mean, for me, most times I have carrot, cabbage cut into very tiny bits, you know, in the fridge. Rice. And so I stir fry and add to my little portion of rice, half cup of rice. I mean, somebody's screaming now, she's eating half cup of rice. Yes, you know, but I load it with vegetable. You enjoy your rice, but more importantly, you know that you're not piling on too much calories.
I've gone to
So it's all about eating responsibly.
Absolutely.
Eat responsibly the same way you drink responsibly.
Yes.
I went into one restaurant and the vegetable they gave me was more filling than the swallow itself.
Yes.
Anyway, that's the way it should be.
But we'll come back. I know you, as a presenter on a cooking program, what else do you expect you to say? But we're going to have you back again, you know, in a few weeks from now, because we shouldn't forget this lesson in a hurry. Most people just forget once the program is over. Ikwo Uko, nutritionist.
Ikwo, by the way, has written a book.
Oh, I told you. We're going to talk about that book the next time she comes here.
Okay.
Nutritionist and dietitian. By the way, what's the title of the book?
It's Memories on a Platter.
Memories on a Platter, yes. Meals are very, very memorable. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Nigerian meals.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're back after now to talk about, that's the
home stretch.
Yes. And this one is going to be interesting. Stay with us.